Hold on. Get this hair off there because it's going to bother me if it's there. You know, when you get a random hair from your animal on your microphone and you're just like, get it off.
There's always just cat hair
some kind of
stuck to my
fuzz
mic.
around it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's an extra sound barrier.
Hello and welcome to the Rewatch Recap, where we recap shows for nostalgia and pure amusement. I'm Dustin, your host, and with me is our guest host, Kay, of TikTok's Kay again. We're gonna keep saying that. You have an episode coming up. You're having the works, I'm sure, of Feck My Work Life. Feck?
Yeah. We're Feck My Work Life.
It's like the Irish one.
Yeah. You should change it to that.
Wow. Yeah, you should. You should have an all Irish version. It'd be great. Feck My Work Life.
Yes.
and Lucky Charms. Anyway. Yeah, so we're back with Dead Like Me, another workplace comedy. And we are doing season 2 of Dead Like Me. And we're on episode 5 this week, which I am recapping. And it's titled Hurry. And it first aired on August 22nd, 2004. Again, too long ago. We don't like to think of it, but that's okay. We'll be all right. So Kay's a little sickly, so she might not intrude. I can't even talk. She might want to after this point. She might be like, you know what? I get over this. I got to take over for Dustin.
I'm just going to grunt.
Oh, God, Dustin, talk. Anyway, so here we go. You ready, Kay?
Yeah.
Let's do this. Previously on Dead Like Me, George is still questioning her reaperness again, and she's gotten a promotion at work. So he's getting a little closer to Dolores. They're a little more, I guess she's her right-hand man now, officially, pretty much. And so there we go with that. Rube is being mysterious as usual. Mason has gone back to his partying ways. Roxy is now a cop. And Daisy is finding religion or spirituality or something. She's maturing this season a lot.
Yeah, a lot.
So we'll see how that goes. Oh, and the lasses, Joy and Clancy, are getting a divorce, and Reggie is in the middle of that. So
yeah,
bad on that. And now, Dead Like Me opening. Reapers are doing stuff at the laundromat and the basketball court. Boop, 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 boop. Oh, look, he's brushing their teeth. It's George.
I'm just going to dance when you do it.
Anyway, so this opening quote is, when I was a kid, life was all about what's next. I was like, 7th grade sucks. Wait till I'm in 8th grade. And then 8th grade, high school's going to rock. That's so true. Life was one big race to get to the next thing. Someone forgot to tell me where the finish line was 18. There are people who are always on time, and there's a flashback to Joy calling for George not to miss the school bus. I hate those people. I was not on time, ever, for anything. I don't know what my deal was. I was late from the start. Flashback to George's birth in a wild angle.
Yeah, I was like, this is uncomfortable.
Straight out of Joy's vagina.
Yep.
And you hear Joy like, she goes, late from the start. And Joy's like, get out now.
Yeah.
It's like when she said she got her out of the house. Get out. She's always wanted her out.
Oh, God. Yeah, that angle was...
Yeah, and we saw hair too. Like, it was too much. Like, there was we just needed the shape. If anything, we didn't need like everything.
We didn't even need that. Like, we could have just seen like the birthing room. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
Or just an angle, but no like actual like point of view, like shot of a baby looking through the vagina.
not their finest moment.
Uncomfortable. So continued. Late was just who I was. Shows George running after the school bus like, hey, stop. The thing about late is you always feel, rushed. Late sucks. It's true. You always feel rushed if you're always late.
I hate being late.
Yeah. So in this episode, we pick up on this guy who's a yuppie in a car. He's stuck in traffic. He's yelling at presumably a travel agent about his upcoming trip to Aruba. He's a real asshole, basically.
Mhm.
And then we hop over to Der Waffle House, where the Reaper breakfast meetup and their place is packed. They're not getting any breakfast. They're really kind of ticked off about it. And because they want their service, they want to get their stuff done. So Rube decides not to wait and starts handing out their assignments. Mason's like, oh, I know this guy. And George looks over and says, H. Soriano. And she goes, oh, my dear pal H. And she was like, what is his name? She's like, Hank, Henry, Ho-Ho, Horatio,
Horatio?
Ho-Ho. Like, what?
I know. And I like
Yeah.
how they showed Roxy's like little smirk
She's
at
like,
Ho-Ho.
okay,
Yeah.
that's funny. It seems like she's lightening up a little bit now.
Yeah.
Finally.
She got a gun now.
Well, yeah, that might help. So, yeah, Mason says no, it's Herman. And it turns out Herman used to do side work delivering. His places to meet him up is at this place called Mercury Messengers. And he used to do side work for delivering other things. And Mason's like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? They're like, we all know what you're saying, you know?
Yes, Mason.
But yeah. And then they're like, so when he mentions the Mercury Messengers, like Roxy and Daisy both go completely out of character in this moment.
Yeah.
And start singing some goofy ass jingle of this like place, this delivery place. And it's something like, I don't remember exactly how it went, but it's like, if you got a package, but you got no use. Yeah, no, excuse me. Let me try that again. If you got a package, but you got no time, use Mercury and you'll be just fine. Mercury, woof.
Whoosh. The stupidest jingle ever.
That's a bad jingle. Like,
and they were like, oh my gosh, it's so funny. And they're like, is it though?
No. It's funny because it's bad. That's about it. Rube says it's a little early for the Andrews sisters, and Daisy's like, oh, I reaped one of them. I don't know which one, though. Anyway, Mason is preoccupied with he wants his downtown blueberry, his blueberry muffin. And Rube scolds him for always getting to his reap by the skin of his teeth and tells him, reap like a professional.
Yeah.
And get a watch, basically.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, that's essential if you're going to be a reaper. I don't know how you survived 35 years of reaping with no watch.
Right.
I don't get it. But poor Tiffany, she is swamped and she's not taking anybody's crap. She's like, I will get to you in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
I love her. And she comes back and they're like, okay, guys, I'm sorry. What do you want? And they all just start yelling stuff out at the same time. She goes, okay, again, let's try that slower. And then all of a sudden everybody yells at her. She was like, I'll come back. So they all like, oh, fine, we're leaving. I got to go to my reap. And George is like, I'm staying. I'm already late for work anyway. So Tiffany comes back and she was like, what do you have? And then she goes, and she goes, how about oatmeal? And she goes, yeah. And she goes, how about with raisins? She goes, yeah, on the house. Because, good things come to those who wait.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, that's kind of neat. And this whole theme of waiting and being late and taking your time is the big theme of the episode that we find out. Anyway, so over at Last Manor, Joy can't find her keys. Where are my effing keys? And Reggie's like, try looking in your effing purse. And she goes, Reggie, don't say effing, which is a flashback to the first season that she's like, talk about the teacher or something about the toilet seat. She says, you're an effing liar and don't let me hear you using that word.
Yeah.
I was like, what, effing? Like, yeah, effing.
I like how effing is a bad word.
Effing, yeah. Joey has a meeting with Clancy at the divorce lawyer to finalize the divorce. And she tells Reggie that I'm going to take you to band practice after school. And Reggie's like, I don't want to be in the effing band. Even if they agreed, she'd join as some school activity. And so when Joy leaves, Reggie takes off her glasses. She starts to look at her reflection. And I'm like, oh, she's maturing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she wants to look older, maybe. Or maybe she thinks no glasses are prettier. I don't know. But that's what she's doing.
Figuring out who she is.
It's usually trying to look older. At that age, you want to look older than you are. You just want to.
And glasses, especially, I feel like glasses are fine now, but I feel like when we were kids, like glasses were like, ew, nerd.
Yeah, exactly. The stereotype. Right.
Yeah.
So at the post office, Rube walks into a huge line. There's a lot of crowds in this episode.
Mm-hmm.
Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
But he goes in and he stands in with patience. And over at Happy Time, George goes through the motions of like her usual slacking off routine. Like she's just kind of swirling in her chair. Looks like she's looking at her screen, blah, blah, blah. But then Dolores grabs her chair, like literally grabs her chair and wheels her over to her cubicle. And she's like, I gotta give you a warning. And she's like, and then she also points out that you were late again, basically. So that was
Yeah.
noticed. And she and George hunker down. They hunker down at the cubicle, like down. And Dolores is like, look at 2:00. And George looks over there and she's like, no, that's 10:00. No wonder you're always late.
I don't know what time it is.
You don't even know what 10 and 2 are. So there's an efficiency expert there to monitor everyone's work, and Dolores gives George the lowdown. She has a mole, and not the body kind.
Yeah. Where?
What? No. She was like someone in the main office. And, and she says that if everything is good there, she's pretty much due for a raise, and it's pretty much guaranteed if everything works out there. I guess she's the manager of the whole floor now.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like, doesn't it? Like
Yeah.
she's the boss of the floor. But, whatever. And so they get like this debate going on what should my mole's like code name be? We should give it. And so she's like Molly Mollerson or Molly Ringwald.
That's a good one.
I know, I like that one. Just call her Molly. But like she's like, no, we'll use Fred. Okay.
Come on. You do better than Fred.
So Dolores calls this guy the efficiency expert. She goes, God, they're reapers. And George's like, what? And she was like, just always eager to hand out the pink slips. I'm like, oh, okay. Effing reapers.
Effing.
So she asked Millie if she can count on her, and George sees her reap is like 4:59, which is kind of perfect timing, like right at the end of the day, but right before clock out time though, like literally right before clock out time. Nevertheless, she says, I will kick righteous ass for you today, Dolores. And she was like, and she tells the monitor guy, like Dolores says, oh, people call me DH. It's faster. I'm like, hey, that's my initials. Yeah. We had the same initials, as in Holden's big eyes. Okay.
Right.
Holden my eyes. I know that's all I'm going to say.
Holding my hand.
Anyway, as Joy waits, her lawyer shows up. And Joy is anxious to get over this and insists that Clancy will be late on purpose because she knows she hates when he's late. And her lawyer's like, why are you still wearing the wedding ring? And Joy's like, because I'm not divorced. Okay, Joy.
Yeah.
Sure. It's not a ritual thing for you. She's like, oh, it's your ritual. You have your rituals. I have mine. Like, no, I think it's because you're not really ready to let go. But okay. Which I understand. It's fine.
It's hard.
What now?
It's hard. Like, even though they hate each other, like, divorce is hard.
Divorce is hard, y'all.
Divorce is hard,
as a child of divorced parents, yeah, I can concur.
As a divorced person, I can concur.
There you go. Hey, divorce affects us all.
That's right.
I'm picturing Sarah McLachlan.
Do.
Please don't get divorced.
In the arms.
Exactly. That's exactly what hit my head. There you go. Okay. Wow. Okay. So meanwhile, Mason's wandering the streets looking for Herman, and he sees a bunch of kids doing tricks with their dirt bikes, right? Mm-hmm. And after a very, very awkward interaction with them, like trying to sound cool, I don't even want to try. He finds out like, oh, Herm's on his way, and they point and like, oh, there he is. He's behind you, and he's riding up on his bike, and he bypasses them, and Mason's like, wait, oh. So then he decides to get on a bike, and he was like, that's right, you never forget, and he falls over, and he does that classic comic book, I'm okay. Whatever. Weep, weep, womp. So back at the post office, Rube is stale. I can't talk.
It's one of those days.
Back at the post office, Rube is still standing in line playing crosswords or something. I don't know. And then some woman starts talking to him, and he feigns, no habla inglés.
I know. And she keeps talking.
But this woman is like one of those annoying people who just won't shut up no matter what, and just won't take the hint. And keeps talking about like picking up her mail because she went to Hawaii, and she asks Rube, oh, were you Mexican? And Rube's like, no, I'm from New York. And she's like, oh, I don't want to go to New York. Too many buildings. But I would go for Matt Lauer. And she's like, you look like him, except older and angrier. And I'm like, and not an alleged workplace sex offender. So There you
Is
go.
Matt Lauer a sex offender?
Oh, you don't know about that? That's
No.
why he's not at NBC.
Oh.
At least that's the alleged story, just FYI.
I'm trying to picture who Matt Lauer even is.
You don't
Like,
need to now. He's out of the
I
picture.
know
He's
I know the name, but yeah.
long gone. So Rube just stares at her and slowly, just she's talking, he just stares at her and just slowly backs up and goes to the back of the line to get
That's what
away
I was
from her.
wondering. Was that her game? Like, talk everyone's ear off to, like, move up through the line?
But she was in front of him.
That's true. Yeah, but
But
you
then
can
she
see the
did talk to the
guy.
person in front of her after that.
Yeah,
But
and you could see the extra behind Rube while she was talking, like,
uh,
came like, looking and making looks
why?
at her.
Of course, yeah. She moves on to another person. So Daisy shows up to her reap, and it's some sort of an event. She doesn't know what it is. And a woman named Sherry shows up and gives her a name tag and says she's going to kill it in there and to break some hearts, which is, I'm like, oh, this is clearly like speed dating
Speed
or
dating,
maybe even
yeah.
a prostitution social hour. I don't know at this point,
Is
but
that a thing?
it sounds like it should be, doesn't it?
Welcome to the prostitution
social
social.
hour.
I'm sorry, sex worker social hour.
But it is prostitution. That's the literal name. You could be a sex worker and it's a prostitution.
Yeah.
Or whatever. I don't know. So anyway, yeah, a happy time. Millie, she calls up a temp and talks about the dress code. You've worked there before. We shouldn't be able to see your ass or your crack. And Mr. Barfin, the monitor guy, shows up and it's like, was that called business related? And George is like, the way DH runs things, there's no other way. And he asks, like, what about your off-color language? And she goes, sometimes it's the most efficient way to get across an idea, which is true.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if I would say that to him, but it is true though. So he tells her, why don't you start saying, instead of returning your call, just say returning. It's faster. It's more efficient. I'm like, okay, shortening phrases doesn't equal efficiency.
No.
That's so stupid. People think that. Like, no, it doesn't. Like BRB. Like you could just say be right back. It's the same amount of time.
Yeah.
You know,
So dumb.
really, really dumb. Back with Daisy, it is speed dating. And the only thing is they don't allow last names, which is the crappiest thing that could happen to her right now, I guess.
Yeah.
So this could be a problem. The person she's looking for is Jay Allen, which is my friend's name. Hey, Jamie.
Oh, hi, Jamie.
And the first douche that shows up, oh my God, his name is Jason, which is my brother's name. We won't say any more about that. He says last names spell commitment, and I'm here for the here and now. Like you and me attacking some bed springs.
Oh,
I'm like,
bro.
what? Who talks like this?
No, well, I was gonna say nobody, but there's probably some douche out there that does.
I mean, fiction reflects real life basically in some form. So reconsider your life choices if you do that, please.
Yeah, that's not a way to get a lady, folks.
So she grabs this guy's pinky and like nearly breaks it off. And he jumps up and runs off. And Sherry's like, oh, could you please not perform physical threats? Because I kind of need the repeat customers. She was like, I'm sorry, I'm new. I'm like, to life? Like,
Yeah.
like, come on, girl. Back in traffic, the yuppie douche is still talking about his Aruba vacation and yelling at the traffic. Oh my God, move it! Ah! I'm like, whose reap is he? Please tell me. I want to know because it's got to be what's coming.
Play in somehow.
Yeah. Poor Mason is tirelessly pedaling his bike up a hill looking for Herm. And at the airport baggage claim, Roxy shows up looking for P. Thibodeau. She watches the airport baggage guy named William Garrett calm down an irate French woman. He's keeping calm and acting like, I'm magical. Watch, I'm going to do my thing. And he snaps his fingers to start the conveyor. And Roxy's like, you have an earpiece to the tarmac. I know what you just did. And he's like, oh, you didn't get it? She was like, I got everything. I totally, your whole calm demeanor, awesome. But like that, I didn't fall for that.
Yeah.
They
had a little vibe. I thought it was cute.
They did. I was like, is this going somewhere? I can't remember if anything happened, but
yeah,
maybe we'll see. So she's like, can I see the passenger list? And he's like, okay. And she just starts calling out names. Jones, identify yourself. He's like, here. She goes, Thibodeau. And then she goes, here, or raises her hand. And she's like, okay, that's it.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right. Don't need anything else.
And the guy has no questions. He's just like, sure.
The cops, they ask, okay, sure. Anyway, so Roxy says, you just need to stay calm, ma'am. Just stay calm to her. And she goes, calm is for losers. I have places to go. And Roxy says, then you go, baby. Allez, allez. Damn. Another guy sits down across from Daisy, and his name is Jeff. And she asks, Alan? And he shakes his head. So she says, I don't think we do have a connection. We shouldn't waste our time. And she's like, I really don't like mustaches. Even if you shaved it, I would always see it.
Yeah. It's a lot of J names at this speed dating thing, too.
A lot of J. Is this J speed naming?
Right.
Is it like J date? And everybody thought, I should have a J name.
They didn't understand what it meant.
It's like the beginnings of J date. Like, not that kind of J. Okay, whatever. So Clancy finally shows up for the divorce proceedings. Joy is annoyed, of course. And Clancy's like, oh, by the way, I picked up Reggie's band costume or band outfit. And he picks up, and Joy's like, oh my God, that's so cute and precious. Look at the epaulets. Oh my God. She's freaking out. And they're like, oh, they kind of have a little moment with each other. And then they're like, you ready for the divorce? And she's like, oh yeah, that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
So then they're looking over the paperwork, and Joy gets pissed at Clancy. She's like, you're taking Reggie at Christmas? And she goes, and he says, we're going to Mexico for Thanksgiving. Who is we? Is that the girl?
Probably. I'm sure.
Oh, the co-ed?
Gross. Like, gross, bro.
Like,
you're
really?
in your 40s and you're seriously dating a college-age girl. Get out
It
of
ain't gonna
here.
last. Not for her. She'll be gone.
Oh, yeah. She'll
be
realize
all alone. Stupid
quickly.
ass. Anyway. And she's like, so she hates Thanksgiving. And okay, so you get her the time she gets all the presents, and I get her when she throws up. Okay, great. Thanks. I'm like, oh, that sounds like me. Okay, sure. Okay, fine. We'll do that. And then she asked his lawyer for his pen. What was that? Was that like a power move?
Yeah. It was weird. And then like her lawyer was like, you can use my pen.
No, thanks. Use your pen?
Yeah.
Sure.
That was a weird little exchange.
I don't know what that was, but. So Daisy's next date is Jack. And when she asks how his dates are going, he asks, are you trying to dump me already? And he says that she probably wants that guy over there. Well, he's got herpes. That's a fact.
Okay.
Calm down. And then he's like, you hate men, don't you? You only go here to hate men. And she goes, all men. She goes like this. She goes, God, I hope your last name's Alan. It isn't Alan. And then he says, all women in the world hate men. And she goes, no, they just hate you. And I'm like, can we just say this to every single incel out there that made the world what it is today? Because that's the reason why we're like this. We're in this situation, mainly because of incels. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah.
It's you.
Agreed.
You're the problem. So.
But they will never see it that way.
No. It's always everybody else. Back at Happy Time, George delegates like she delegates tasks like a boss. She's like, you're going to go do this. You're going to do this. And even to some guy who calls himself the Ted, she's like, your job is to make Millie laugh. He's like, I can do that.
The Ted.
He's got this like really dumb kind of a radio shtick he does. And she's like, Ted on mute. I love it. So Mr. Barfin notices her making these people move and so on. And so does Dolores. And she gets happy with it. You can see, yes, all right, in the background. Way to go, George. At the post office. The post office is my favorite scenes, I think, for me. Just saying that early on. At the post office, the talkative woman at the front now getting stamps. And she's like, this is a great quick little thing. She was like, can I get some other ones? Like maybe the Amelia Earhart stamps? I just love her. And Rubens in the background goes, I reeked her.
Yeah. Was that before she got on the plane to fly over the Bermuda Triangle?
I know, damn. I know you weren't on that plane, sir. You would not have been found for a long time. So Mason takes a piss between two dumpsters and hops back on his bike a little too hard, crunching his balls in the process. Ouch is not the word good enough for this because it sounds like he just sat on a bag of chips. That's what it sounds like. And I'm like, I didn't realize we had joints in our nuts, but I'm like, damn, what was that? Ugh. At Happy Time, Mr. Barfin is timing people doing every little thing. Even has Crystal spooked. Crystal. She's rushing around. She's dropping files. And I looked at George and thought, you better help her pick up those files. Like, you did not learn your lesson from the last episode. She doesn't help her. I'm like, poor Crystal. George
has got a little power hungry.
Yeah.
In her new role.
Yeah. Like, so the dude even times Millie, George, going into the restroom, but she's annoyed at first, but then she's like, oh, how good does that do? Oh, good. Nice. I'm like, to be honest, I would kind of want to know how I measured up against other people. Like being timed to something you didn't know you're getting timed for, so it's all natural, just so you know.
I wonder if he had them like ranked, like fastest.
This one's better.
Fastest,
Promote
the
this
slowest.
one. This one pees with these. Yeah.
He pees in less than a minute.
Exactly.
Promote him.
So back at the post office again, this is my favorite part of this part. Some woman cuts in line and starts talking to this lady, right? And Rube's like looking at her, and I'm like, oh, a Rube ass chewing is a coming. And he walks up to her, excuse me, is everybody in line behind you assholes? She's like, what? He was like, I'm just asking, do you think everybody here is an asshole? And she says, no. And he goes, oh, so it's just you then? She's like, excuse me again. He was like, she tries to act all important, like, you just cut in line in front of everybody like nobody else mattered. And she was like, I have children in the car. And he's like, I've got a cake in the oven. That guy's got a few minutes left on the meter. That woman's lunch is waiting. She's like, we all have a finite amount of time. Now get in the back of the line and don't use your children like that. It's shameful.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And
Everyone in the line with him is just applauding. I clapped along with it. I was like, yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much. We need more people doing that.
Yes.
Because I think we stopped calling out the bullshit that we see in everyday life and we just let people get away with stuff and it just snowballs and gets worse.
Yeah.
Call it out. Please. Try not to be an instigator, but say, excuse me, that's not right. Just be, do it. Okay, I'm off my soapbox. So a guy named Josh sits across from Daisy and she reads him to filth about the ascot he's wearing. She's like, you need to be really rich or really stylish. And she goes, or are you gay? And he goes, no. Well,
I don't even think he doesn't even say a word.
He kind of like does that.
He just goes,
no. He kind of does that. No, like that kind of.
That guy didn't have a single line.
He's,
but then he thought about it.
Wait a minute. Maybe she's right. Maybe that's why I'm at this events. Yeah.
Maybe that's why I like ascots. I don't know.
And the next guy is Jackson. I don't know. I even wrote like, how many J names are in these games?
Like every name.
He's an immediate no. And then an older guy named Junior, also no. And then a guy named Juan, who Daisy says, I can smell an obsession with UFOs. And he goes, I'm not obsessed with UFOs, but I did come in here in one, in a big one.
She's like,
yeah.
Okay.
Nail on head, Daisy. Happy Time apparently has one microwave for everyone because they're all standing in line for lunch. And it's out in the middle of the floor. It's not even in the break room.
Yeah.
What's up? What's going on here? I don't understand.
It's not efficient.
Not efficient. No. I said, that's where you need to attack efficiency. Get people back to work on time. Make their lunch more efficient. There you go. Gosh, people don't think. So the Ted decides to talk smack, but Millie's like, chill. Mr. Barfin's taking notes over there. Mason rides by a woman who just walked outside and stops he stops and gets close to her, and she just looks at him and smacks the crap out of him, smacks him to the ground. And we get another, I'm okay.
Yeah. Reminiscent of that episode of him last season in the record shop where it was just smack, 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 smack.
Yeah, at least it wasn't that. I mean, God. At the airport, the French woman is bitching on the phone, and Roxy has a nice little chat with William about her being like a shoot first, ask questions later type person. And he reveals, I used to be a lot angrier and people suffered, and he gives a good insight, and I'll get into that in a little bit. But so I think it was really cool. Then she notices a graveling in the conveyor area, and she's like, I gotta go. It was nice to meet you, and walks off. Finally, Rube is at the head of the line, finally picking up his package, and the guy returns with the package that's been held there for quite some time. It's addressed to Rose Sofer, and Rube is very upset it didn't get delivered. The man says, I don't know why it didn't get delivered 80 years ago. And Rube is pissed and says, this is unacceptable. And he's like, I'm sorry, it was just in the dead letter office. I can't do anything about it. Like, it took a while to come back, but you have it back. And he was like, oh, man. He's Rube's really upset. And the man's like, I'm
Yeah.
very sorry for the inconvenience this may have caused you or your family. And Rube's like, you have no idea.
Yeah. Do we find out what
Oh,
this was?
I started
Okay.
remembering a little bit more about this. I'm like,
Okay.
oh yeah, I forgot. Finally, Daisy meets James, who is a sweet but sad guy.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, what's your last name? And he's like, Bond, James Bond. He's like, I thought that would be funny. She was like, no, it was, but it's been a long day. Sorry. And he says, I understand. I've been here 17 times and no one ever writes me down. I'm like, really?
He
He's kind of
seemed,
a sweet guy, a little sad
yeah,
sack, but he's sweet and he's kind of cute. And I'm like,
yeah.
why? I don't get it. But he's like, oh, I'm a listener. I don't really talk much. I'm like, wouldn't women like that? I don't
You would
understand.
think. Yeah. But if you have 2 minutes to get to know somebody and they give you nothing,
Yeah, it's true.
what? Why would you
You
pick
both got to
them?
be motivated to do it, right?
Yeah.
Got
It's
to
got to
match
give
that
something.
energy. So she's like, well, you maybe haven't met the right girl yet. And she's like, he's like, are you the right girl? She's like, kind of blushing. Then the bell dings and he's off. And she says, see you, James Bond. And he says, oh, really? My last name's Allen. And then so she's like, oh, and she shakes his hand and rubs his arm. And then she writes down his name on her list, the
Yeah.
only name that she has. And I was like, oh, that's sweet. So George plays with an office toy at her cubicle. I guess it's like a squeeze toy, or I don't know what it
I
is.
think it was one of those like balls of rubber bands. You know, you make a rubber
Was it?
band ball. I think
Yeah,
so.
I do, but it looked kind of weird. Anyway, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, watch out for Balfin, girl. Watch out. And at the same time, Joy takes off her wedding ring, and Rube's like at the park, all staring at this package, all like, oh my God, can't believe it. Back in traffic, the guy is still going off on Diane, the travel agent. I feel for Diane, I swear.
Yeah. I didn't know if it was his assistant or a travel agent.
I don't know,
Could
but
be either or.
it was all about the trip. So I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It was either one. So Roxy walks up to the French girl and tells her, it doesn't seem like it, but you're in good hands, and
Mm-hmm.
claims her soul by touching her shoulder. Then the baggage claim starts up again, and the woman sees her luggage get stuck. So she gets frustrated and she decides, I'm going to climb up there. So she climbs up onto the conveyor to get it, and the bag breaks free finally and pushes her down, and she basically snaps her neck on the conveyor. And like all this baggage keeps coming down on top. I'm like, is no one going to help her? Like, everybody's just going to watch this happen?
Just kept slamming into the trunk. That was just basically
I
like
know, no
on
one's
her neck.
stopping it. No one, like, turn it off. Like, they don't do that. Come on.
And the
Ugh.
guy that works there didn't even stop her. He was just like, "Hey, ma'am, you can't do that." Like, you think he'd be running over there,
Yeah,
like
don't,
grabbing her off of that.
no. Like, I
No,
don't think he
ma'am,
really cared. He wanted to,
can't
like,
do
just let her
that.
dive in.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and then she's like, the spirit shows up. She goes, oh, this is very inconvenient. Fine, let's go. Like, damn, stereotypical French. Stereotypical. At least, the way we saw them back then, at least.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe some still do. I don't know. So Barfin introduces Dolores to the time card, which is the beginning of the end for all of us.
Mm-hmm.
So people can be tracked with their time a little bit easier. Ugh. And at home, Joy calls up to Reggie to model her band uniform. Of course, Reggie doesn't want to. She hates it. And she comes out. Joy sees it, gushes all over the cuteness again. And Reggie's like, ugh, I hate this. And I don't want to be in band. JD has no comment because he's a good boy. However, when Joy goes to get the camera, Reggie leaves her post. Like, I'm not going to stand here. And JD looks at her and barks at her. And she goes, shut up. I'm like, don't you dare tell that perfect dog anything, Reggie. You be nice. No, he's a good boy. Mason has been off riding all around town, and he's all weak and tired. He finally sees Herm, but he has no energy to call up for him. He's
what was the point of this? Why didn't he just go to where he was supposed to go and be there early?
I know. It's obvious he's riding around on a bike. He's the messenger. He's probably going to go back and forth from that place at some point.
Yeah. Like,
He's so dumb.
Mason.
He doesn't think.
He has a lot of substance abuse in his past. His brain's not working correctly.
Yeah. So Daisy gets handed a ton of names, all these guys that were interested in her. And then she looks down on the ground, she sees James's card, and hers was the only name on his card. And it's like, oh. And she figures out where he went and goes to the roof where he's on the ledge. And he says, no one wrote his name down. And she says that she did. And he says, well, you were just being nice. But she says, I'd go out with you in a New York minute. And she asked him to come with her. And so he steps off the ledge. And then when he does that, we see that his body is already dead on the ground below. And he's like, I didn't jump. I slipped, I swear. Which I believe him.
Well, yeah, because they're the accident department.
Well,
They're
and it's
not the
violent deaths. It's violent death, murders
Mm.
and stuff too. So it could be anything. But she's like, I'm waiting on our date. Let's go. And I was like, that was
Yeah.
kind of sweet. She's really become an awesome character this season.
Yeah, I really like her this season.
So he tells her, you're the most beautiful woman there. And she goes, I know.
And then there's still that Daisy.
Wamp, wamp, bum, bum.
I know.
It's Daisy. So Joey drops off Reggie, who doesn't want to go to band practice, of course. And Joey tells her, like, you need to be engaged. You don't need to be left out. You don't want to be left behind, right? And so Reggie says, well, George wouldn't have put this crappy cat uniform on. And I don't want glasses anymore because all the kids call me Harry Potter. I mean, it was that age, and that was really big.
Mm-hmm.
That's the height of it.
That's when all the movies started. It was like early 2000s, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Joey tries to take a moment with her, but Reggie's like, I gotta go. I'll be late. And she just kind of crosses the street without looking. And this car like barrels down, barely missing her. And Joey's like, oh my God, Jesus Christ.
Well, it's the car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're like, damn. Dude. You know,
But also, like, she didn't hear that loud ass car coming.
And how would you? I'm sorry, she was acting all embarrassed, and Joey's being apologetic. I'm like, there's no reason to be apologetic. She did not look. She almost got hit.
Yeah, and she was just like, oh.
Do you notice nobody in the background noticed?
Yeah,
no one turned. No one did anything.
I think Reggie's one of the teachers kind of like,
yeah, huh? What?
Yeah.
They're fine.
Bad background acting, people. Come on,
bad. Be engaged in the moment.
That's right.
So, Mason shows up at Mercury Messenger's shop, and he is just deflated. He's sitting on the curb. He feels stupid to have lost Herm so many times, but luckily, Herm shows up behind him. Herm even says, hey, I owe you money, right? Because they were mentioning this earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And Mason's like, you know what? Don't worry about it. Herm's like, really? This doesn't sound like you, Mason. He's like, no. He goes, how about this? I got some speed. I'll give you the money. You can get the money back, and you got the speed. And he's like, no, I'm good. I'm like, what the hell? What's this 360 or 180? 180, not 360.
Yeah.
360, you're back where you start.
Yeah, he's still trying to figure it out. He
is. He's trying, but he's not good at it, right?
Mm-hmm.
That happens a lot. So, like, yeah, he goes and he grabs Herm's soul, and, you know, Herm's off to deliver some drumsticks to somebody, I don't know, and a baby carriage goes into the street, and he tries to dodge it and dives or something and goes into the back of this station wagon and dies. I don't know.
Yeah, right through the windshield, back windshield of the station wagon.
I'm like, that would kill you, I guess, maybe? If you hit it a certain way? Maybe the drumsticks, like, stabbed him somehow.
Impaled him.
Maybe that happened, because he had him, so, I don't know.
Or he could have broken his neck as he went through the wind. Yeah, who knows?
Bye-bye, Herm. Bye-bye.
But yeah, Herm's gone.
Bye. At happy time, Dolores thanks Millie for her hustle today and says that, you know, you can leave early for your doctor's appointment. That's fine, a.k.a. Reap. We found out that Dolores fired the Ted against Millie's wishes because I think Ted is funny and he boosts morale.
Mm-hmm.
But it turns out Ted is a drunk.
Yeah.
Throwing up in the wastebasket.
How could you not smell that on him standing right next to him if he was
See,
that drunk?
I can smell. You'd be surprised how many people I've worked with, and I could smell the alcohol coming off, and nobody says a thing. I'm like, am I the only one who smells this?
Yeah.
It's very easy. I have a very sensitive nose, though, so maybe they're not smelling because they just can't. They don't have good smellers. I don't know.
Yeah, I've got a super sniffer, so I can be like, yeah, you're drunk.
There's like a certain BO, stuff like that. I'm like, and other people don't smell it. And you're like, how do you not smell this? Oh my God. You know, it's bad. I don't like it. Over at their Waffle House, we see a sad Rube. He's opening up the letter to Rosie, and it says, this is for you and your mother. And it has quite a few $100 bills in there, which was like, I'm guessing this was like the 20s, right?
Well, it said it'd been in the dead letter office for 80 years.
It's 2004, so 80 years would be in the 20s, right?
The 20s, yeah.
Can you imagine? That was like a millionaire.
Yeah.
You know, he probably robbed a bank or something. There's no other way, like, to get that much money without being noticed, you know? It's the only thing I can think of. Anyway, George shows up and's like, did you knock over a bank? Like, and he's like, no. He's very quiet about it.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, are you okay? And he says, long day. And he asks, have you handled your Post-it? She says she's on her way. And he says, not to be late. She says she won't and offers him a ride home. And he says he'll just walk. And he kind of walks out really sad. And she feels very concerned, which he's mopey. And that's not how Rube is.
Not Rube's, not Rube's self.
We see all of our Reapers in this montage during this quote that's being said, and it's all over the city, and they're kind of all taking a moment to themselves, reflecting, I guess. And George says, I heard it a million times when I was growing up. Hurry up, Georgia. Seize the day, Georgia. And no matter how fast I went, I just kept falling behind. I just kept getting later and later. And the whole time I was thinking, what's next? I couldn't wait for what's next. Maybe people should just find one pretty spot and stay there. The funny thing is, when you die, everyone refers to you as late. But now I know that's the one thing that's always right on time. So we see at a street corner, we see the angry, impatient, yuppie guy. He stops at a stoplight. He's mad at another red light. And he yells, he's still yelling at Diane. And he looks over at George, like, hey, can you push the thing? And George is like, what? I don't think he heard him. So he gets frustrated, gets out of his car, walks over to push the button a bunch of times. She's like, you only need to do it once. And she pats it down for him once. Once is enough. That goes for elevators too, people. He says he doesn't have time for this and backs into the street, getting hit by a bus. Boom.
Hard.
The sign says walk now too, by the way.
Fast. That light just turned and that bus was barreling through that intersection.
He was late. he was not on time for his route. Something went wrong.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's Final Destination crap.
Mm-hmm.
So she ends up, he's dead now, obviously. And she goes over to him and she's like, all right, come with me. And he says, I'm going to need a minute.
Yeah.
And so they sit down and she says, let me know when you're ready. And he says, I guess there's no hurry.
Yep. No, nothing to hurry for anymore, buddy.
End of episode. Woo.
Yeah.
So now we come to our rankings. And I have a few things, couple of funny lines I have here. My first one is, I love this. It was really stupid. It was really quick. And like Rube's handing out their stuff. He's read 'em and reap.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just liked it. I was like, oh, that was cute.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have one?
I thought it was funny when you mentioned when Mason shows up with all the like bikers, bikers, and he's trying. I don't know if he was trying to do an American accent, but it was just really awkward. He's like, "What's up? What's happening?" I'm like,
and they're all looking at him like
stroking out.
Like, what's wrong with him? You okay, dude?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. I love this. So they're talking about reaping, and Daisy says, they're all talking about, I take my time, I get there early, whatever. And Daisy says, I'm not in a rush. If I see someone running, I just assume they're a loser. And George says, unless they're a runner. And Daisy says, even then, especially then.
Especially then.
Losers.
Yeah. I also had down the bathroom timing where she gets down. She's like, you're joking, right? She's like, nope. She walks away, comes back. How'd I do?
How'd I do?
How'd I do?
Okay, let's get into our best characters in this episode and why. You go first.
I picked Rube this episode just for laying into the lady at the post office.
Yes. That's one. I have two, actually. I had to split it. Rube was like, it's not just for his post office speech, but like his whole storyline was really good in this episode. The hints we were getting, it was good groundwork, but just he was very chill, and like the way he handled both women in the line, like no habla inglés, He had the best storyline, I think, in this episode. But my other one was the airport guy, William Garrett. And this is why, because of the speech that he tells to Roxy. He says, I believe it's harder to be happier with a gun on your belt. It makes anger a much easier choice.
Yeah.
And that is why we need gun control.
Yeah. Especially.
Right there.
We're recording this not long after the Minnesota thing.
Yeah.
That was
So,
what, yesterday? Yeah.
but of course, they're going to blame everything else and not the gun. And the thing I have to say to people is, people are like, guns don't kill people. People kill people. That is true. That is
Absolutely.
technically true. But the thing that people don't understand is that I can use a pen and stab somebody. I can use a necklace and strangle them. I can drown them in water. But is a pen, a necklace, and water considered a weapon? No, a gun is, because a gun's designed to kill. That's what it's for. So that's the difference, guys. It's designed to kill, and the other things weren't. They can be used to kill, but this is its only purpose.
And if somebody is of that mindset, having access to something that makes it that much easier, especially in mass purposes, mass, that's the word I'm looking for.
We just need better guidelines. That's all we need. We just need better guidelines, at least. Something. Yep. Anyway.
It's not going to happen.
That's for another day. Yeah. Another discussion. What's our worst character? You go for that.
The car dude.
Traffic guy?
Yeah.
Yes.
He was
we
the
know
fucking
him.
Worst.
We've all kind of been him at some point, not to that degree, but like just pissed off in the car. Move, turn green.
Yeah.
You know, just, I'm eager to get somewhere. Impatience, anger, getting the best of us. And that's why I don't like him, because it's the bad part of me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That, and also I was an executive assistant for many years and had to do travel for people, and that just gave me PTSD. All the yelling about that. Like, shut up.
And they've got this mentality of go, 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 go. And it's all about like them and their money, and it's no humanity involved at all. It's all about me. It's pure evil. When you lose your humanity, you're letting evil take its home in you. That's all I'm saying. So
yeah,
not a good thing, sir. You're bad.
Finger waving.
No. Now we're doing our episode rankings for the Gravelings from 0 to 5. How many Gravelings would you give this?
I don't know if this is probably not going to be a popular opinion. I gave it 2.
Really?
I wasn't a huge fan of this episode.
Really? Okay.
I thought everyone was just like, I don't know. I felt like, except for Rube's storyline, I just felt like everything was just kind of like, what? Like the whole Mason riding around the city on a bike and the stupid efficiency thing at Happy Time. I don't know. It just felt kind of filler to me.
I don't agree. I do agree about the Happy Time and the Mason thing. Those were kind of filler. Those felt like filler. But I think Daisy's was very good because of, you know, and then that's kind of the lesson of like how you treat people, and, you know, and then this guy fell and whatnot. And then Roxy's was great because she met that guy at the airport and he gave her that good speech about the gun and about being, you know, and then you have Rube and he's got his good speech and stuff. And so I thought there were 5 storylines. 3 out of the 5 are really good. So I gave it a 4.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. So yeah, I really truly appreciated the life lessons this go around. I thought it was really good. I think that's why I liked it so much. So
yeah. I mean, there were good moments for sure, but I just feel as a whole, I was just kind of like,
What did you think, rewatchers? Did you like this episode? Did you kind of go, or did you like it as much as I did? Let us know. Let us know what you think about Rube's big quote in the post office and all that. I love it. It was great. Reach out to us on socials, on TikTok at the Rewatch Recap, and on Blue Sky. And don't forget to subscribe and respond and like and comment and share with your friends, because we like you and want you around. Okay? Yeah. Okay, everybody. We'll see you next week for episode 6. Bye.
Bye.